Again, sorry about the kind of non-game there, but some words are hard. Sometimes these things happen in Magic Online. I would like to play first. This hand has a 2-drop. It's not necessarily one you want to play on 2, but I'll take it. Like, it's got 2-3 Ravages. It's also got the Wasteland if we decide that's the direction we'd like to go in, which I think it often will be. Ravages did not obviously get to shine in that last matchup, but it's a very powerful card. Huh. Yeah, normally you don't see 2 opponents who have Stirring Wildwoods in a row, but here we do. Merfolk Looter, you say? Do I want a Looter? Well, I certainly want to attack for 2. Like, there's a chance if they're playing Merfolk Looter, they're doing some reanimation shenanigans. So, like, there's a temptation to just take out their Wildwood while we're ahead and then see if they cast anything better or we draw anything better. And I think I'm just going to do that. Like, they can loot into more lands or loot out of more lands, but we don't really know what they're doing yet. So I'd like to get a little bit better idea of that before we move forward. Karmic Guide, okay. Means the white was relevant. They could also play like a big artifact creature and we get to clone this dude and do the thing. But Wasteland is a fun card, right? I remember when you'd see these in the dollar box at your local game stores. Every turn that we're hitting for 2 is good. I kind of do want my own looter now because I'm just sitting here with all these lands. I'm not really excited about this, but I'll take a looter, sure. We can loot them away, and then once they've try to loot into some action for next turn, and then once they've done something, we can Ravages, or we can just Ravages and leave us both with looters and Relic Warders in play. Oh, a Birthing Pod. Okay. So you're going to do something fun, huh? This kind of makes me want to just loot and then Ravages and be like, have fun with your no lands and your Birthing Pod. But let's see what's up first. It's like ravaging and then playing a land is a lot of fun. Letting them loot a Birthing Pod away, like turn a Merfolk Looter into something, is not so great. But if we can hit like a 2-drop and just kind of reset the game, I think I'm fine with that. Yeah, I don't mind this being the land that we play after we've ravaged. So we'll ravage, go to 2 lands, and then have 2 land drops and a Secure the Wastes in hand. We don't quite have enough of a board presence to stop them. But I'm scared of what they're going to loot this into now that I've committed to having my own looter. I guess I get 1 more land if I wait another turn. I can't get enough. Well, I can get enough dudes down to get the Windbrisk Heights active. That's kind of cute. I can take a gamble on that and then see if that gets me something big enough to Ravages the turn after. Okay, I think I can do that. I think I can do that. Like, they're going to get a 3-drop. I don't know what sort of stupid, scary 3-drop they could have. But I'm betting we can hit something better. These are not necessarily better, are they? Council's Judgment can blow that up. Precinct Captain, if they don't have much, gives us a board. So what I'm looking at is I attack in with my tokens and maybe my looter, and then I need an answer to something. Yeah, it's probably Council's Judgment then. Because we're going to secure end of turn. Then attacking Council's Judgment, the Birthing Pod, and then perhaps Ravage, unless they don't get anything great, at which point I'll just Ravage and screw it, don't care. I kind of want to get a few more lands out of them on the Armageddon. That might be greedy. I have been accused of being greedy before. I mean, the neat thing about this is we can attack in with as much as we need to, and Council's Judgment a blocker out of the way if that's what we've got to do. A lot of blue-green decks in the cube. I'm just kind of scared of that birthing pod. I guess if they don't have any mana, it doesn't do anything. So that's something to be aware of. I'm just not convinced that a 2-drop Relic Warder can go all the way. It is funny that they cast a birthing pod right at, like, imagine we have Thalia instead in our opener and then draw into this guy. Yeah, the Whirler Rogue's a little bit of a problem. So we can attack in and kill the Whirler Rogue. That's kind of cool. So we can attack in, kill the Whirler Rogue. They probably double block, some shenanigans like that. Yeah, I'm going to need another card. This is not amazing right here. Not exciting times. Sorin we can't even cast. So that kind of doesn't do much. Like, I'm still thinking that there's a world in which we cast Ravages of War. It's still 2 turns off. That's so far away. But Sorin's just not doing anything here. Linvala sure would be nice. Am I supposed to just cast her? No, I can't let them untap with the birthing pod and go get a 5. I guess I could kill the birthing pod and then use Linvala to finish this off. Like, if what I'm scared of is them warping into something, then they get to eat a token. I'm kind of okay with them eating a token. Yeah, this all comes down to I'm scared of the birthing pod. And I've got a creature in hand that can stop them. I think I'm going to loot away the Ravages next turn, because we're getting too far behind to actually pull this off. Oh, they're just going to take a trade. All right. Leave us both with looters. That works. That, again, may mean I try to go Linvala into Ravages. Stonepeller would have been good. Blow up my looter. Okay, okay. I see what you did there. We may as well play around a 4 spike. And it means I can cast the Seeker and Ravages next turn. It means I don't have the lands to follow it up with anything, but at this point I think that's what we've got to do. Like, this is their last loot. And if they don't slam something game-breaking here, then I think we can get over this. Because this answers Garrick. Good God. Yeah, Ravages is terrible against this deck. It's terrible against all of my opponents that I've played today. I guess this also means I could cast another 2-drop before I Ravage, if we decide we're going to do that. But I mean, we're fine if we leave them with this board and we have this board. We've got Delirium, so that's a thing. Blurp, you're exiled, buddy. Right out of this game. Banned in Modern, banned in my cube. I wonder what sort of blue-green opponent we'll face in round 3. Urgh! It's probably not a good sign that they're sitting here in the tank. Unless they went to the bathroom. And sometimes people poop. But if that's not what they're doing, and they're thinking, which of my amazing spells do I want to play, then we're in a little bit of trouble. Okay, so is this lethal? They've got 16 coming at us. If we Ravages and hit with this guy, we gain 3 of it back. So it's basically, do I want him to gain 3 a turn or prevent 6 right now? So I'd have to hit with him twice for this to actually do anything. If I don't, I go to 10, which is 8. And I can hold them back post Ravages. I think I'm supposed to chomp. But like, they're going to have something after combat that's going to make this even worse. Nah, I could draw swords. I'm willing to go stupid low here. I have a life linker. To potentially get us out of it. So what we could do here is Declaration that in stone, Ravages, go up to 5, and then they have 5 on board. That's not good. Well, we could Declaration Ravages, go up to 5, and then hold this guy back and take 1. It does give them a token in which they will draw a land. Is this a board state that I can beat? Well, it's not a board state that I can stop. And we'll actually gain 4. So that'll put us to 6. And they can only hit me for 4. So I'd hit them for 7. It's actually a lot of their life total. So I hit them for 7. They go to dead in 2 hits to this. And then next turn I'll just hold back and block this. So I'll take 4 going to 2. And but then I can't stop this. So I'm trying to decide if I attack with everything or just the Seeker. The Seeker certainly goes in. Like, that's happening. And then Limbala would block here. And then after that, I can just attack with Linvala. So this puts them to 9, and then 3 turns they're dead. Am I dead in 3 turns if I'm at 6? So that's going to hit me for 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I think I have to hold her back rather than hitting for 7. Because that only puts them to 6, 2 hits of this. And if I'm at 6 and I take 4, then I have to hold both back the next turn. So yeah, I think this is where I want to be. Some convoluted shenanigans going on here. It's interesting that they didn't tap their mana and pop the clue. They could have just drawn the land that was on top, but I guess maybe they were not expecting the Ravages. No one really does. Well, can't really get our goat on. We're on this plan now. So we trade here, take 1, next turn hit them to 3, turn after we take 2, and we should win, again, assuming nothing bad happens here. They got 1 turn to dig up an answer to this, or some more damage, and they didn't have it. Ravages of War, ladies and gentlemen, doing what it do. Doing what it do. So what are we up against? Another blue-green deck with all sorts of shenanigans, splashing white for Karmic Guide, which is a bit ambitious. They've got Artifact Hate out the wazoo. Well, not really. We just saw this guy, right? Oh, and the Stomp Howler. It's like, good thing we're not really playing any artifacts. Both of those get enchantments too, so I'm kind of tempted to be like, you know what? I don't need the O-Ring, because they're not going to take it out. Like, I kind of want to take out Ravages because they saw it, and now they have to play around it forever. The O-Ring, and to an extent, the Metamorph, even though they didn't seem to realize that all of their Artifact Hate hits this. And then we could just bring in Unexpectedly Absent as another removal spell and not have to be super worried about it. Because now that we're taking out the Ravages, like, there's no incentive for us to hold lands. We could bring in a Johnny, and the Reckoner is probably okay against a lot of ground pounding shenanigans, or just Elspeth is like more top end. I don't hate this if we're going on the draw, and we can keep the Sorin package this time. Yeah, I'm down with this for a game too. Can be aggressive, we can be controlly. It depends on what our draw looks like. This looks okay, although it's got some problems. It needs to hit 2 lands to get this going, but it's got like such good removal. It feels safe to keep a 2-lander on the draw. Maybe I'm a monster, we'll see. Simulan confirmed monster. Like, we'll have turn 1 path if we need it. Oh, well, that just makes things way better. Again, we don't know for sure that they don't have a wasteland of their own, which would be kind of funny. But I'm not really in a position with this hand to play around that. We would like to continue running out the lands that produce white prior to the Abbey. So as long as we can, we're going to do that. Again, it would be nice if we could nab something with this, but I think a lot of its power is its flexibility. This is also a cat, which is relevant. It's not relevant. I could just wasteland their falls and then declaration that. Do I care about that? I mean, I kind of care about that. You don't not care about it. It does take us off of Elspeth. I would like to be able to play Elspeth. Elspeth's a powerful card. So what we could do is consider pathing that. Well, they're stuck on mana, aren't they? They mulliganed. We're kind of unmulliganing them and fixing them for white if we do that. So I could just declaration it so that they can't loot out of whatever problems they've got going on. They get a card, so what? They're spending time on it. Then we slam Elspeth, then we kill this, then we wasteland them. Okay, I think I've walked myself into it. We'll still have path up if we want it. Because Elspeth next turn's a big deal, and then, like, if they have to tap this to try to hit a land drop, I think we're pretty happy. Yeah, I like it. So we'll just jam Elspeth, hit him for a bunch. Birthing pod with no creatures. I approve. Do I even care? I don't think I do. I think I'd rather just secure. I could secure and hit them with the Westvale Abbey next turn if I want to make a token here instead of hitting them to 5. I could also just play Linvala and leave up Path to Exile. I think I actually like that. Like, that just leaves them as close to dead as we can get. Because it's 8 damage total. So they've got to interact with these 2 cards. And even if they do, we've still got Ellie chilling out over here. Karmic Guide, that has protection from black. My cards aren't black. Going pretty low here. Well, that's a nice worm coil engine there. Be a shame if something were to happen to it. I'll come back. They were dead anyway. That was cute. I didn't need to do it. We could just +3 the Linvala and kill them. I'm like, we've got it. We may as well have some fun with it. Just every once in a while, it's fun to do the still had all Ds. All right, so that we actually did win that match instead of just going 1-1. I approve. We will see you in just a moment for the finals.